Hello, everyone. Welcome to Harv's World for another venture into PV Uncharted. We have got Caveman and FF with us today. Say hi, guys. Wait, FF's not with us yet. He's going to be joining us in a little bit. Caveman's with us, though. Say hi, Caveman.
Hello.
And we have got FF actually dropped into chat and dropped 50 bucks. Thank you so much, FF. Big shout out to FF, everybody. Big shout out. He's been such a fantastic supporter of the stream and of the channel in general. I can't thank him enough. Far too generous, but very much appreciated, of course. We got a lot going on today. Eric Kuntz, Mr. Swede, Sprue and Glue. Looks like Sprue and Glue is a first timer who doesn't like my fairy tales. My German fairy tales, Mr. Sprue and Glue. It's all part about learning. It's all a part of learning about a new culture. That's all it is. Bradley, how you doing, man? You took a nasty fall. I hope you're doing okay. Seemed like you were okay, but I hope everything is fine with you. Tim Weingarten. Hello, Tim. My name is Harv, and I also am an FS19 addict. And well, I may be self-serving to say I'm addicted to Harv's World, but if you are, I genuinely appreciate it. Jordan the Canadian Kid, and I'm sure we'll have many others joining us along the way, but we have got the town came in, well, I guess Shell decided to contract with the town to bring a diesel factory, and we are going to take advantage of that first thing. We harvested some sorghum earlier on a different field, and then our new sorghum field. Oh, I know what happened. Oopsie. And it looks like Caveman is spending our money already today. We allow for such things. And what are we spending money on already, Caveman?
You'll see when you get back.
All right, all right. Why is this front trailer not wanting to tip? I know I had it on the right tip side. Tip side left, yes. Do I really have to back up that far to get the sorghum to tip in? Is that what the problem is? Yep, that's what the problem is. So the tip ins on the shell factory apparently are very specific. There's 4 different crops that we can drop in here. Sorghum, sugarcane, yes, corn, and poplar chips, and you have to actually be in the right area to drop those off. Okay, we've got a lot going on today, guys. You saw our new crops, which are looking pretty darn spectacular. I'm doing pretty good, Bradley. Thank you so much for asking. Hey, Sprue and Glue, don't even sweat it, man. Don't even sweat it. It's, not every minute of every video is going to suit everybody's taste. I know it's not personal, bud. If I took everything people said personally, I'd never make another video or do another stream. I'm almost thinking I should just cut through the woods. Let's see if we can't make it back to the farm by going through the woods. It might be a little bit... It'll either be faster or take a heck of a lot more time, depending on how well I can avoid trees. Kevin! How you doing, Kev? Hey, Kevin, since you're here, I did want to make it very well known that was 100% Marilyn's idea. In fact, you can even read that in the comments on one of the previous Off the Grids. She said she didn't feel like she could use that lot to her best advantage, and felt like you should have it since you needed a place to stay while you're working the homestead. So, and for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, Kevin is my helper on Off the Grid. He flew over from jolly old England for a visit and decided to stay. and we were going to get him a plot and clear trees so he could build a house. But Marilyn, one of my longtime subscribers and very dear friends, who had won the lottery for the plot, um, and we built her house first because she was the first one to request what she wanted. Um, there's another 76 grand going down. Man, you're dropping cash like crazy. Okay, so you can see our cotton field's ready to go, our tobacco field's ready to go, and look at this lavender field, guys. Now, I'm not going to be the one to argue that this looks perfectly like lavender, because it does not really. But it is still a lovely field. I think that's absolutely gorgeous. Almost as good as canola. That's very good looking. I like it. Sign me up. Oh, there's something big and new.
You might want to take that trailer right there to your right with you when you go over there.
The stone trailer?
Yeah.
All right, let me drop these off and get them out of the way. Actually, I want to put them on the silo because I have a feeling we're going to need them, so let me come back around. And that'll give me a chance to show everybody, since Shell came into town, we no longer needed our little diesel plant, so we have converted it to a seed and fertilizer plant. And it is cranking away already. I've put manure, slurry, compost in that thing, and some of our rice. We had a lot of rice in the silo, and now that is busy making seed and fertilizer, which will ultimately pay for itself, because God knows we go through enough of that junk. Simulator YouTuber from Northern Ireland. Outstanding. I love it when we get people. I mean, I love everybody who comes in, don't get me wrong, but I am fascinated by other countries and cultures, which is kind of a dead giveaway. And I still put this in the wrong place. Oh well, life goes on. Alright, so I need the stone trailer. Now, from blowing up all these boulders that you have seen in the past, we've got this whole trailer load of stones. And there's like a million liters of stone in this thing. It's ridiculous. I said attach. Thank you. Yeah, Bradley. I saw the pictures on Discord, man. You got a nasty cut on your chin. Okay, so am I assuming this front area is the place to drop these stones?
Kinda.
Do I need to put them like right on this conveyor belt thingy or what?
Yes. They need to go on the conveyor belt. So you grab a stone, like so, and throw it.
It's like doing a shot put.
And then turn on the pusher right there. And if you hop up on the wall, you can see you can see it. It should shove them up there.
Oh yeah, okay. There's a plunger going up the ramp.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
There's only one thing we need to get here before we can actually make this really useful.
What's that?
We need diesel.
Oh, we gotta move. Okay, well, I just dropped off 65,000 liters of sorghum, so we will talk to Shell and see if they won't deliver some to us. Probably not get it done today.
Okay.
Come here, rock. Well, this'll be, I mean, even if the thing won't accept all of these rocks, it should at least let us store them on the conveyor belt, right?
That's the plan.
What is the trigger for that? Not getting a trigger warning for turning this on. Is it just the left mouse?
Uh, Playing with the Xbox controller, it was just B. So
It's not triggering for me. Might be a multiplayer issue, I don't know. I'm not even getting the... It's not showing up in my menu.
it's very touchy.
Apparently. Well, you're gonna have to take the plunger because I can't get it. For whatever reason, it will not let me do it. I'll sort it out later. Maybe it's a controller problem.
Well, do you remember there was that one barn we had on Yukon that you couldn't do anything with one particular section, it wouldn't let you.
Right. Sprue.
But I could.
Go ahead, Caveman.
But I could because I was playing with the controller and you weren't.
Right. Sprue, the gems that we collect in the field, those get tossed into our sorter. I'll kind of show you here while Caveman continues to load stones. So this is our sorter. And they actually collect in here. And when we get enough, like we've got 10,000 liters of aquamarine. When we get enough, it will actually allow us to spawn a pallet of aquamarine that we can sell off. I don't think it's actually a pallet. I actually think it ends up being like a giant gemstone. It's like it crushes them all together and makes them into an aquamarine. Alright, fire that sucker up and let's see what she does.
Oh no.
Is it not working for you either?
No, it's not.
I wonder if it's full.
No, it's not. It shouldn't be full. Oh yeah, no, it's not full. It holds 5 million liters.
Oh. Maybe I need to get away from it.
Okay, look. See where I'm standing at right here?
Yeah.
But if you face it, it goes away because you're trying to pick up something. You have to face away from it. All the stones there you can pick up, so it's trying to get you to pick them up instead of...
Right, okay. We've got too many stones.
It a little bit.
And yes, Kevin, for some reason in multiplayer, throwing and I don't get along. I'm intrigued to see what happens when the plunger comes back down now. Hey Forrest, how you doing, man? Welcome to the stream. Glad to have you with us.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, there's FF. Looks like he got his family dinner taken care of. Now is the plunger just gonna... That's funny. Oh, it just pushed him right back out.
Okay, so don't overfill it and don't double stack it. Okay, go ahead. Face away from the button.
Oh, I gotcha. Did it trigger? No. What's the trigger? Is it... Oh, here we go. There it goes. I got it. I did have it.
It's just right-click the mouse button. It's going.
Okay, there it is.
It takes it a minute, but it's going. So now this should be
Excellent.
nowhere near close to full.
No, we get rid of all those bloody rocks and make some...
We can make lime, gypsum,
calcium carbonate or some crap like that.
calcium carbonate, and limestone.
Please tell me it does not make gravel.
It does not make gravel. But this thing can also make stone.
That's right, Sprue. I busted the rock crusher. We haven't had it for an hour. So it also makes stone. That's interesting. It makes stone.
It can.
Because we...
And now for the other...
Go ahead.
For the other thing that we got new, you might want this big trailer right here that I'm sitting in front of.
Oh, the animal trailer?
Yep.
All right.
and you might want to get a load of Black Angus and then head out to the other side of the pasture.
Hang on, FF. If you're grabbing those trailers, we're good. We still need them. Besides, we don't have a... Oh, wait. Yes, we do. When we're done, FF, if you want to go ahead and set up that tractor and the planter, just get it where you need it while we're doing this.
Yeah, the set up one of the big cases with the
Okay.
planter. There should be one backed up to a planter already under the shed.
All right.
So-
So you want Black Angus.
Yes.
Is that Black Angus young?
No, just Black Angus cows.
Black. There we go. And you want a whole trailer load.
Well, I mean, at least 50. I think 50 is good.
Well, we got 56.
Okay.
That is a big load of cattle. Now, where am I taking these?
You're following me.
All right. Give me 40 acres and I'll turn this rig around. And when we're done with this, FF, I will give you the semi to do what you're gonna do. You might want to go to the other end of the field, FF, closer to the cattle barn, because we're going to be working on that end here in a minute. Uh-oh.
Sorry.
That thing
I was
having...
running 25. I didn't know how fast you could run with a full load of cows.
I was about to say, that thing got a gas pedal or what? Hey, Ed, how you doing, bud? Farmer Joe. Nice. Picturing a cow scooting around in a school uniform. Anybody who doesn't know who Angus Young is, he used to be the lead singer of AC/DC, and he was famous for wearing a little boy school uniform. That's awesome. That's awesome, Joe. Better bring the wife back. Yeah, I'll consider it. Oh, I see what you've done here. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is a cow feedlot. Are you unloading these or am I, caveman?
Forgot. Sorry. On my way.
I was just checking. Let me crank this sucker around a little bit.
Alright, you're good.
That is one seriously big feedlot. With a serious lot of floating cows in it. Oh, there they go. Okay, let's take a look. Did this... Yes, we do have animal pen extension valves for this. Outstanding.
I gotta hook all that up.
Okay, so this is our large feedlot. What we really need... They actually do take total mixed ration, caveman. I don't know. It wasn't showing that. So these are going to be just like the beef cattle. Or the dairy cattle. We can feed them TMR also. So, looks like we need the TMR mixer. And Caveman is busy installing the water valves. So I don't know what we're going to put in that open field. Ye Gamer, how you doing, bud? Welcome to the stream. Bradley, life is a risk. Play with your Jeep in the dark. Take a chance of busting your chin. It's not going to kill you, buddy. Oh, and I went way too far. I needed to go back and get the TMR mixer. Christopher Benedetti, welcome to the stream, man. Hey, thanks for that reminder, Sprue. Appreciate that very much. There we go.
Okay, they have water.
Outstanding.
Now these also need straw
You
and feed.
All right, you gonna grab the straw then?
Yes, I got the straw. I got a trailer of it already over here.
Grabbing the TMR mixer. When you get the straw, would you pull 3 bales of hay out? Actually, I'll do that. I'll do that first.
Do what first?
Grab 3 bales of hay to toss in here.
Okay,
so everybody can see how we pull bales out of these little storage units. If they haven't, anybody who's never played with these type of storages before, it's basically you just walk up to it, activate the menu, tell it how many you want, and then it pops them out right there. And I'm going to put on my big boy pants and use my muscles for these today. Harv's big boy pants. If you want the semi now FF, feel free to take it, and you can return that cattle trailer. We won't need it anymore. Oh, I made a mistake.
What did you do?
I forgot to empty the rest of the TMR out of this before I started making more. It's alright, it's only 680 liters. I'll make up that in straw, so. Oh, see, Sprue is someone who likes the tree clearing, and I'll tell you what, guys, there's a lot of frickin' tree clearing to do on this map. I have worked my proverbial butt off with a tree harvester. We don't put much of it on screen because people don't seem to care for it as much.
No, they don't seem to care for it that much, but if somebody wants to see it, just let us know.
We'll do some more. We will do some more. I mean, we're actually going to make a very, very large purchase today, which is going to require a whole lot of tree clearing. And I've actually backed myself into a corner over here. I parked these stupid trailers. Oh wait, no I didn't. No I didn't. Never mind. I'm looking at the wrong thing. Shut up, Harv, and just focus. There we go. There we go. Now we need silage, which we've got a metric ton of in this bunker. And we're going to run that up to about 24,000. 1, 2, 3, 4. Close enough for government work. Close enough for Harv's World work. Straw. Finish it off with straw. There we go. 32,000 liters of TMR coming your way, caveman.
Oh, I'm on my way to go get more straw. I didn't have enough.
All right, we'll do that, Sprue. We'll next stream we'll add some more forestry. We're not going to do 2 hours of it. In fact, we'll probably start working on our road because we need a better road to town. The road to town we have right now is a bit of a nightmare. Especially since we're growing up and using bigger equipment. It wasn't so bad when we had small trailers and stuff. But now that we've got bigger ones, not so great. Happy cows. Isn't that a cheese brand now? Happy Cow cheese or something like that?
It's some sort of dairy brand, that's for sure.
And we have got 1.4 million liters of silage in that bunker. Once Caveman and I get these cattle taken care of, FF is going to start loading and selling off that silage. So we're going to see what we can do because we have all the grass we're ever going to need, I think. Exactly, Kevin. That's exactly what we need. Straighter roads. Man, that road we've got right now just winds and winds and winds. Kind of like I'm doing right now. Oh, wait, that's wind. I'm assuming the feed trough is along here. Is this the feed area or is that straw?
The feed area should be right beside the water area.
Yep, I got it. I just found it. Alright, TMR for 56 beef cattle. Black Angus young. That's it, Laughing Cow. It wasn't Happy Cow, it's Laughing Cow. These guys are going to take a lot of TMR. Excuse me. Oh, Jordan,
Wouldn't surprise me
ouch.
if they did take a lot.
They took 28,000. I've got four. I'll run these to the dairy cattle and see if they need anything. I don't think they do. I think we topped them off. I like this feed mixer. This is pretty slick. I've actually never used one of these before. I usually just use the stationary ones.
Well, we had to get you out of your comfort zone for something.
Oh, that's true. You do that all the time, man. What are we doing forestry on here for?
As much forestry as you've done now, I don't think it's out of your comfort zone anymore.
No, it's definitely not. Although, I still learn stuff about this game every day. Caveman taught me a new foresting technique that I'll be using from now to the end of eternity. Because I used to bring trees back and swing the boom around to. Well, they took a little bit, but not very much. See if I can clean up this mess they've left on the ground. There we go. Watch your head, Bessie. Outstanding. Worked like a charm. Alright, let's get out of here. We've got harvesting to do. Whole lot of harvesting to do.
Now that I finally found the other trailer, I can actually go give straw to all the cows.
Well, yeah, Bradley, didn't you know that I'm one of the farmers of the Caribbean? If we had the technology, we could. Well, I could show you what I'm talking about. CGI type stuff. You could see me farming as a skeleton, like they did in Pirates of the Caribbean. Hey, I was in Pineapple Bay, or Pirates Bay. It was Pirates Bay. Don't mind that. The poop chute.
Hmm.
All right, FF is working hard on the bunker silo. Outstanding. He's going to get that sold off for us. You about ready to take care of some tobacco, caveman?
I will be in a minute or two. Still trying to make sure. I want to make sure all the cows have the straw they need.
Excellent.
Um,
How do we probably at this point need to put in a straw producing crop?
uh, Probably wouldn't be a bad idea.
All right. FF, you were going to plant this field for us when you're done with that. Um, Go ahead and just put in wheat.
Understood.
We should get a nice hefty amount of straw from that. What's the story? Run off your land and you make someone sell up. I'm not sure what you mean. Someone sell up? Okay. Time to harvest some tobacco.
Leave these right here.
All right. Tobacco harvest is on. Hey, Seraph, how you doing? Oh, the dairy guy in Ravensburg. Well, no. See, what happened was if you haven't watched Pineapple Bay series, I came to Germany from the Caribbean. I'm not going to spoil what happened in the Caribbean, but I may have gotten into some trouble over there, and so the rich guy that hired me to work in Ravensburg um, found out about my past and decided he didn't want me to work for him anymore, so I had to find a new job. Luckily, Frau Baumann was kind enough to take me on. She was a little bit desperate. Hey, Harley, we are doing great. How are you doing? Always good to see you dropping into the stream. Outstanding, absolutely outstanding. Ah, there you go. Should be in. Yeah, that I've lost many hours of sleep thanks to this game. Many, many, many hours of sleep.
I've lost quite a few hours of sleep to quite a lot of games.
Oh yeah, me too. Ed, Lancaster, PA. Oh, they finished their tobacco harvest 2 weeks ago, and now they've started on their corn. Very cool. Yeah, he fired me. He couldn't find anybody to do the job for him, and he ended up just abandoning the farm. Basically, I don't know. I don't know what he ended up doing. Actually, I just know that all production stopped and the cattle got sold off. Although I was able to at least buy a few from him.
Well, that was beneficial for you.
Well, beneficial for Frau Baumann.
Yeah, that too.
I mean, I bought some for her. They weren't technically for me, I suppose. Come on.
Gotcha.
There we go.
This doesn't seem to be yielding the best.
No, it's because we have this crappy soil. I was trying to avoid that, and that was my screw up. Sorry, caveman. I think we're off a little bit.
I don't think we're off a little bit. I think that the collision box is slightly wider than the
Oh, I
vehicle.
understand. Gotcha.
Because that's what it's looking like.
Well, from what we've been able to find out, And actually, I'm just going to keep trucking down this field, but we have the money. I think we should go ahead and pick up field 18 because my understanding is field 18, or area 18, I should say, has much better soil on it. And we're kind of to the point where we need to expand, so I'm going to buy that. So this will give us the opportunity to put in more fields, and it will allow us to put in a better road. Well, Sprue, you'll have to watch and find out, unless you've given up on that series. Maybe one of the other folks here can tell you whether she got her eggs or not. Oh, you're
I'm
still
pretty sure
working
there's
on
a video that answers that question.
it. Yeah, he's only got up to episode 20, so we'll give him some time to find out. Um, was that not a family dispute and they broke up the farm? That's a very distinct possibility, Ed. I never found out for sure exactly what it was, whether it was a family dispute or not. Um,
First load of silage to be sold on its way.
put a hanger on 18. Outstanding, FF. Appreciate you doing that for us. Do we
Really
have
appreciate it.
do we have some kind of hanger? Or are you talking about like an airplane hanger, which would be pretty darn cool actually. I need to go over 2 rows. Remember that, Harv. Eric, you asked me about I have not checked Facebook today. It very well might. I'll tell you. I have so many stories in the past and future going on in my head that I honestly can't always remember everything that has happened in all of the series that have taken place. That's the honest truth.
You have done quite a few videos.
I
Quite
have,
a few.
I've done a few hundred at this point, yeah. Okay, since well, there's a good many of you here. Richard May, hi. Sorry, bud. I totally missed you popping in. My apologies. I'll check it out, Eric. I'm sure I just haven't had a chance to look at any Facebook or any social media today, so I will find it for sure. I love pirate stuff, so I'll definitely be checking that out. Yeah, Eric, I'm sure I have it. I just haven't had a chance to look yet. And that was $40,000 worth of silage. And FF's going to save us selling off that silage today because we just spent 1.2 million dollars today. Yeah, and Eric would know how long it takes to watch all the videos I've done because he religiously watched everything, including, I think, every single stream we've done all the way back to Old Timers Farm. Well, thank you, Kevin. Much appreciated, my man. So the tobacco is just a cash crop. The cotton we actually need for production, and the lavender is going to be cash. Now on this end, I can just do an exact turnaround because we're not going to trip over each other.
So just to bring this up while I'm thinking about it,
Mm-hmm.
it looks like the tobacco is actually doing better on the sandy loam than the loam.
Really?
Yes, the sandy loam we're getting like a 90-ish% yield, but the sandy loam we're getting 100. So that field over there that's plowed ready to go would give us a better yield for tobacco than this field, even though they're the same size,
That's
because
interesting.
it's the soil type.
We are getting a better yield. I wonder if any of that has to do with fertilizer or pH.
Well, if you look at the yield map and the soil map, it lines up perfectly with the soil map. Yield map does. So I would think it's something to do with the soil type,
Okay,
because different crops do better on different soils sometimes.
that's true.
But it's a little bit too clean cut. If you ask me, to to have the pH or something be causing it.
That's a very good point. Have to remember that.
Now,
Go ahead.
now if it was jagged like the last one, like the last harvest we had, I could see that being down to pH and stuff like that. But without it being jagged, I don't think it's the reason.
Okay.
I don't think it's it.
Okay. Well, remember tobacco does better on sandy loam. Kevin, yes, I know where I could send this cotton. Gift wrapped with a suppository. Let's see. Bradley. Oh, wait, Ed. Pirates or privateers? I realize the distinction. However, so many privateers became pirates that they're kind of one and the same these days. Yeah, and Eric is right, Bradley. Loam is generally considered the best soil. But apparently, our industrious map maker on this map has decided to make certain crops function better on non-traditional soils. We'll call them non-traditional.
Who knows? That
Non-traditional.
could be
Non-traditional for precision farming. What were you going to say, Caveman?
the reason for the funky soil map that we have.
Oh, that's true.
He could have flip-flopped stuff around and made it work better on different soil types on purpose.
That's
So
a,
that
that's a very good point. Sprue, that is Firefighting Farmer, is running the trailers, loading our silage and selling it off. He is a very quiet helper. Unlike Sharko, when Sharko helps us out, it's almost impossible to get him to stop talking. FF, it's almost impossible to get him to start. Right, FF?
Yeah. Guilty as charged.
That's not necessarily true, Bradley. Just because you're not on loam doesn't mean you can't plant crops and still get a decent crop. Loam actually just allows you to bump your crop production by about 25% if you do it right. So you can get 125% harvest as opposed to 100 and just a straight 100. But like on sandy loam, or no, it's was it silty clay that was second best?
Sandy loam is actually second best, I think. Hang on. Um, as a general rule of thumb, it's loam, sandy loam,
Yeah, that makes sense.
loamy sand, and then clay is usually the worst.
Right, right, right. So on sandy loam, you can still get 100%, maybe even slightly better sometimes production. So it's not like you can't plant on anything but loam. Oh, sprue, these are cotton harvesters. They do not require a chaser bin. These are actually baling our tobacco right now. U.S. tobacco is usually broadleaf variety. This type is wimpy. Is that wimpy as in just wimpy in general, or is that actually a type of tobacco, wimpy tobacco? I know nothing about tobacco, so.
Doesn't look like the standard tobacco you see planted around here. That's all I can tell you.
It's European tobacco.
It's a possibility.
Well, it's definitely a possibility. FF Seraph is asking if you ever found the mod for pinpointing load points.
No, I did not.
If it's the one that I think you're talking about, it's the info menu HUD. So you can have your info menu closed, but it will still tell you when you're at a trigger point. Is that what you're thinking of?
Mm-hmm.
It's info menu HUD is what it's called on Mod Hub.
And it's a beautiful mod.
I could not, I literally cannot, that's literally cannot play without that one because I never open my info menu anymore.
Me either. So thank you for that.
Oh, I'm full. I wondered why I wasn't. I gotta back up and unload this bale, caveman. No, we didn't clip. Good. You're probably full too.
Not quite. 99%.
So this is why we don't need chaser bins. And I'm actually kind of curious to see what this. It's basically a very brown cotton bale. So there you go. 20,000 liter of tobacco. That's a heck of a plug. Alright, I think I can. 20,000 liter. Well, we're still not going to get a bad harvest off of this. We're
Not going to be terrible.
We're going to have at least 80,000 liters.
I don't think we're going to quite have 80,000. I'm thinking more like 65, 70.
Yeah, I think you're right. I didn't realize how far into this field we'd gotten already. Hey, Matthew, how you doing, bud? What's the good word? The good word is always coffee in my book.
Oh, and apparently you have to plow after tobacco as well.
Because of course you do. Apparently you have to plow after sorghum also, which is what we had in that open field. We went ahead and harvested the sorghum because you guys have seen that before. Well, if you enjoy the soil sampler, Bradley, be my guest. If that's your bag, it's your game. Play it your way, buddy. I prefer the scanners. Fent 1050 is always the good word. When it comes to tractors, anyway. Other than the map tour I did on Bucks County, I have not played it. Anybody else play Bucks County?
I do.
Well, since you play it, why don't you tell us a little bit about it real quick?
Natural Survival. Hey Harv, recently discovered your channel in FS19. Your beginner's tutorial has been a great intro to the game. Thanks. I appreciate you saying so, Natural. Very much appreciate it, and I'm always happy to hear that video series has helped people get started in a game that I love so much. So thank you for the kudos, man. If you ever have questions, my Discord is always free to join, and we have lots and lots of helpful people in there who will be happy to answer any questions you got when I'm not around. So thank you again. And FF, you were going to talk about Bucks County a little bit?
Well, you start out pretty small. It's a lot of newer equipment. It's not really a older style map, if you will. You start out with bigger tractors and stuff, and I really don't care for that. You start out with 3 fields. 2 are planted, 1 is cultivated.
How is the gameplay on it?
Gameplay in what aspect exactly?
As in, is it an enjoyable map? Is it easy to get around? Decent sale points?
There are pretty good sell points. There's quite a few actually. It's not real hilly. It's more of a flat map, but it does have some terrain to it. And looks wise, it really has a lot of maps beat. I think the fall looks very beautiful on that map.
Oh, so you're playing seasons on that?
I have before. I am not currently, no, but.
Excellent. Now, if I remember right, Bucks County is by the same modder who did Blue Mountain Valley, right? Is that TNT modding?
Yes.
Okay, so is there any interesting features of the map? Is there any interesting mechanics? Multi-fruit?
No, I believe it's base crops. There's no special paintable textures. The buildings are pretty much all from lone oak. So the lone oak barns and everything. Nothing too crazy about it, but it is definitely a good starter map. It's definitely up on my list, right below Pacific Northwest.
Okay.
Very nice. Well, to be honest, Sprue sold off everything, including the house when he did the tutorial. You don't have to have a house. You can advance time. I think base game is up to 2,000 times without a house.
No, base game is 120.
Oh,
Yeah, 120.
No, okay. Well, then you kind of need a house to get through the night, unless you just plan to work through the night, which is. But then you have no way to speed up time when you want your crops to grow. So you can get by without without a house if you need to. Or you can go find other sleep triggers out there because there are a bunch of different ones that are available to you that are a lot cheaper than a house.
They
There's also the Sleep Anywhere. If you're on PC, I know.
Yep.
Don't even have to have a trigger. You just hit the button and go to sleep.
Yeah, I've seen a doormat. I've seen boots, which I used in Chellington Valley for a while when I was homeless. um,
There's a pillow.
there's a pillow that you can actually move around anywhere now, which was actually not so much for players, but it was a big game changer for content creators because up until that pillow got created, you could not have a mobile sleep trigger. And somebody figured out the coding to make a mobile sleep trigger a possibility. And that was a big deal for FS when that happened. Not so much for players, but it doesn't, it allowed for. Once that pillow came out, the very next thing that came out was a semi with a sleeper on it. So it just gives you more options.
And also, if you don't want a house, there's a sleep trigger out for all platforms on ModHub that it doesn't even have a house. You just place it down and then it's a sleep trigger, so you don't even see it.
I have seen that one before. Yeah, it's just a box that you place, but it's an invisible box.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Seraph sleeps on the driver's seat. That works. Yeah, there's a mod for everything, guys, I swear. I realize the console players don't always have it so easy. PC players get it much, much easier, but we're almost done with this cotton, thank goodness.
We haven't even started the cot.
I mean, the tobacco. Cotton harvester. And I have a sneaking suspicion that lavender field is not going to tell us when it's ready. We're going to have to check the map for it.
Got a feeling you might be right there, good sir. And it is not ready yet.
It's not. Still
but
growing.
Cotton is ready.
Yep. We will dump our tobacco. We'll pick it up later. That's all good, Sprue. Everybody, many people have started over again. And in my little tutorial series, I'm trying to cover as much ground as I can in a short period of time and basically touch on all the basics. And one of the first things that I do when I go into a new map, especially if I'm starting a new farmer, is I evaluate all of the equipment and what buildings I've got accessible and start selling stuff off to give me a better starting cash pool. I would love to see that, Ed. Lavender fields in the real world are absolutely gorgeous.
There's one mod I'd like to see for FS19, and that's an undo button for the landscaping tool.
Oh, that would be a beautiful thing.
That'll be hopefully FS22.
Mm-hmm. Which they did announce platform crossplay, so that may mean a little bit more flexibility for mods for console as well.
I think they've already kind of said that there's going to be more flexibility for console mods.
Yes, they're building in a lot of scripts into the base game that are commonly used in modding.
Tim, we're chatting through Discord at the moment. What? That's not what you were supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do. Oh, I'm sure it is, Ed. I'm sure it's absolutely fantastic. Okay. Fire this bad boy back up. Get up here on this cotton field. We planned this intentionally. The cotton harvesters are leased, by the way, because these things are stupid expensive. And when I say stupid expensive, I mean exactly what I say. They are outrageously expensive.
Moves at like $500,000 a piece.
$500,000 a piece. Martin Salinas. Mad Max. I'm pretty sure that's Mad Max, right? I just started playing. Hashtag Harv made me buy it. There you go. It's all Harv's fault.
I think that's one thing he doesn't mind being blamed for.
That's right. FS22, I honestly think they're going to put a lot more, and I know I've seen this somewhere, there's going to be a whole lot more going on with landscaping. You'll have a whole lot more functionality. Like, I can tell you from personal experience, if you're trying to place fences in FS19, it's a bit of a nightmare and a bloody headache. They have fixed that in FS22, and what you can do now is drop a fence post, or what you'll be able to do is drop a fence post and basically drag the fence out where you want it to go, and drop another fence post, and it will fill in that whole area. That is going to be amazingly sweet.
And it follows the terrain.
Yes, that's too. It follows the terrain.
Yep. So you don't get those funky jagged fences if you're going over even the smallest bump in the terrain. Harv made me do it. Hey, if it gets you interested in farm sim, throw me under the bus all you want.
It helps if you lower the header on the harvester.
This game has opened so many doors for me. It's drastically increased my knowledge about farming. Now, I'm not going to say this is a perfect simulator because it's not, but when I started this, I had no idea what a windrow or a windrower was. That's the absolute truth. And so many different pieces of farm equipment. I didn't know what a direct drill was. I just knew farmers used these big tools to plant their crops. Now I can tell you the difference between a seeder, a direct drill, the difference between a cultivator and a plow, what their purposes are. I've seen this question a lot. Why do you cultivate a field? And, people who just play and don't know agriculture, they're just grabbing a direct drill. They don't have to cultivate the field. They don't understand why they should have to. Well, direct drills and cultivators are both used for soil conservation, especially direct drills. No-till planting is a great way to keep your soil healthy. My job will help, Ed. I'm not going to say it helps yet, but it has a little bit. I've learned some things. Carrying capacity for cattle. I have learned about that. Cultivation is also a way of doing a shallower soil bed preparation so that you're not disturbing soil as much. However, plowing brings dirt up in bigger clods, and a lot of times doing it that way, those clods are less likely to turn into dust and blow away. So that can be useful for soil conservation as well. There's a purpose for everything a farmer does. And the process that he or she goes through to get that done. So at least for me, it's really interesting stuff, and it gives me an appreciation for what these folks put themselves through to put food on our table and whatnot. My training is going slower than I personally would like, but in general, it's going pretty well. I'd like to get more into the roots of everything. I'm learning the outskirts of it at the moment, but time will solve that problem, I'm sure. Harley, yeah, you're about on par with me, I'd say. Then Harley, you're good with placing fences and somewhat master the landscaping tool. Yeah, that's about where I am. I still get frustrated placing fences. Man, we are making bank. 289,000 so far on the silage.
And how much silage you got left over there to move, FF?
Just a little over half of the silo.
Jesus.
Wow. So we're looking at $500,000 in silage at least.
Yeah, at least half a mil. That's good.
That's a very good thing, actually, Ed. You know, crop rotations. People don't understand what the purpose of crop rotations are. Well, I'm not full. Why am I not harvesting here? I don't think I lowered. No, headers down. We're turned on. I done broke the cotton harvester.
What do you mean you done broke it?
I broke it. It's not picking up anything. I've only got 4,000 liters in my.
Not good.
Oh, that fixed it. I turned it off and back on, and it fired back up again.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a big problem for a long time, Ed. It's actually what caused the Dust Bowl. Well, no, that's not entirely true. Somewhat caused the Dust Bowl of the 1930s that forced all those Oklahoma farmers to pack up and bail out. And the Dust Bowl is actually when soil conservation really started to take shape. Because what happened is, you know, that was those grasslands out Oklahoma, eastern Colorado, North Texas, Panhandle, all of that. It was the Great Prairie, and it had had grass on it for hundreds of years. Well, all of a sudden, you've got all this flat, very healthy soil. Well, you take up all of that grass, and all of a sudden, the soil is left bare. The grass holds the soil in place. That's part of conservation also. It's the real reason people plant cover crops. You know, we've only got one real cover crop in the game. It's oilseed radish. And we can use it as a method of fertilizing. But the real purpose of cover crop is just to help keep the soil in place. Walking to school in the snow with no shoes and on hot pavement. Yuck.
That sounds a little brutal.
Sprue, I have been playing Farm Sim for two months longer than my YouTube channel has been active. I started playing about April of 2020. I fired up the YouTube channel June of 2020. So about a year and a half now. I'm not an old school player like a lot of these. Actually, just a year and a quarter. Won't be a year and a half until. Well, I guess October will do it. Will put me at a year and a half. Yeah, I think 4-H is still a very popular thing in a lot of places. I think we're going to do better on our tobacco than we do on our cotton. And
I think you're right.
I don't really think the tobacco field is that much better.
And again, it looks like the cotton is yielding better on the sandy loam.
That is very, very interesting. I'm seeing that also. Just checking our lavender field one more time. Well, that's something I was going to mention too. So the cotton harvesters are leased, and we did these three crops: cotton, tobacco, and lavender, because the map maker on this has made those all require cotton harvester, special cotton harvester mod that he included with the map to harvest those fields. So we only have to lease these big boys once.
Well, remember, cotton is needed for one of the productions.
Yep, for that textile factory that we built, that we supplied with.
Yes.
That's actually a really important lesson, Ed. I had I have an ex who always swore to me that she was on the verge of becoming a vegetarian, and I believe her. I don't doubt it. But I just mentioned or happened to mention that I'm like, well, I'm a carnivore, and this was around her mother at the same time, who had very similar thoughts on the subject. I said, I'm a carnivore and I love meat and I'm going to eat it and da 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 da. And they're like, well, that's because you were never raised on a farm. And all I could think of was that I don't know what education on that farm you got, but most kids learned that these animals aren't pets. They're raised for production. So
they're raised for food.
Exactly.
I'm getting that weird thing too now where I can't harvest it. That's weird.
Let's see. I'm going back up, Bradley. I did miss it, bud. Just turn off your harvester and turn it back on and it should fix it.
Yeah, I figured that out already.
It just happened to me again too. That's weird.
It's always happening on the north end of the field too, right?
Yep.
I'm thinking there might be something, but going between the two different fields like you do right there, throwing it off. It's still reading that there's tobacco in the other field.
Bradley says, Pirates tune for you, yo ho, all together hoist the colors high, heave ho, thieves and beggars, caveman and harv shall never shall we die. Very clever, bud. Yeah, exactly, Eric. They do become like pets, but they have to learn to. They have to learn to separate the two, pets from production. Big difference. Um, have you considered an international version like Brazil? If you're talking about like different maps, Tim, I'm not entirely sure what you mean. Fill me in a little bit more. Let's see. TTV Benny Boy, how you doing, man? Welcome to Harv's World stream. Appreciate you dropping in. We're doing well today. 25 viewers. It's all because of Caveman. They come here to see him.
Come here to see me.
Ralnick, how you doing? Welcome to Harv's World, bud. When I worked on the farm, one of the things I learned was how to mercifully slaughter chickens. Fair enough. Butcher on the back porch. I think it's funny to see why you don't just get your beef from Kroger's like everyone else. Yeah, that's very much that's really where the issue is at the moment. People think that beef comes in plastic packages. They don't go beyond that to really understand, but hey, whatever. Sprue, there are dozens of UK maps out, and for new players, I would recommend you take a look at Mercury Farms by Alien Jim. I think it's a great beginning to intermediate map for players. If you're looking for something more European, and Alien Jim always builds in a lot of nice little extras into his maps that are very helpful to new players. At least that was my personal experience on his map. Maybe it's happening because we bleed into the tobacco field a little bit and then it throws off the harvester. Is that what you were thinking, Caveman?
What I was thinking, and I'm getting ready to run a strip this way because I'm tired of it doing it.
FF is saving our financial bacon today, taking care of that silage for us.
We greatly appreciate that, FF.
That's what I'm here for.
Don't worry, I'll help spend that money too.
I'd agree with that, Farmer Joe. Buying from local producers as opposed to chain stores, it helps the local economy. That's a big deal. But you also know exactly where your product is coming from. Oh, so Christopher, as far as you're talking about streaming a map that is more international, that's not a bad suggestion. We have pretty much always done American maps, haven't we?
Pretty much.
Yeah, maybe our next, maybe for FS20, because I think we'll be on this map for quite some time yet. There's still a lot to do. In fact, we kind of planned this so that it would carry us into FS22. So, with that said, maybe we need to pick a year or either some type of international map, whatever's available to us when the time comes for our first FS22 stream.
Well, I do know there's supposed to be a French map in the base game.
Oh, ho, ho. Is it going to be big enough?
It's going to be a standard one-times map, but I think we could make it work.
All right, even if it was a short series.
Yeah, it might not be a long one, but we could make it work.
All right.
We won't have all the crazy mods we have now anyway, so...
That's true. We won't have much in the way of mods. It'll be pretty much base game.
I'm pretty sure we'll find a way to get at least one or two mods in there.
Lavender's still not ready. What's our tobacco selling for? If I can even find it in this mess. Too much stuff. Oh, there it is. It's at 810. And our target price is what? 889. We're not that far off of our target price. I think we can probably sell the tobacco. We're not going to lose that much
Yeah.
on it.
I think we're good to sell the tobacco as well.
Excellent.
That price anyway. It's close.
Unless
it's climbing. If it's climbing, we wait. But it's not climbing, is it?
No, it's a stationary price.
Stationary, we sell.
And we are also not. We don't have any competitors changing their price at the moment either.
Okay.
Oh, we're going to switch to FS22. In fact, being a content creator, it will not allow me to sit stagnant for sure. Need to push into 22 just as fast as everybody else. Hey, Ralnick, how you doing, bud? Thank you for joining us. And our newest homesteader, thank you for joining the... Thank you for joining us, man. Very much appreciated.
Welcome.
Kevin, doesn't matter what map you guys choose, it's going to be awesome. Thank you, man. We have a good time. I'm really enjoying the playthrough on PV Uncharted right now. We're doing some fun things. I like it a lot. Oh, that's a valid point too, Ed. Food allergies will make your food choices a little bit more challenging, won't they? Especially if you're allergic to preservatives. Good luck in this day and age.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Ralnick. I very much appreciate that. And several months ago, even got you started on FS19. Sounds to me like you might be carrying that through. Outstanding, bud. Good to hear it.
Great to hear.
Well, thank you, Ed. I appreciate that. Oh, man, we're doing well today. We're up to 31. Welcome, everybody. I know not everybody is chatters. So anybody who hasn't spoken up, appreciate you being with us today. Thank you. Well, Tim, just because I'm streaming FS22 doesn't mean you can't watch. I'm not going to convert everything. I've said in the past anyway that I will most likely keep at least one series running on FS19 and something else going on 22, which is going to get confusing at some point. Very confusing.
At least for the first little while.
Yeah, for the first few months. I know not everybody is going to jump on the FS22 bandwagon. And frankly, I'll be honest, if it wasn't for my channel and the need to stay competitive in the market, any other game, I would wait a few months. And I always do, because one, it's going to drop in price and I can get it cheaper. And two, the bugs are going to get worked out of it. Things of that nature. And that's a pretty important fact. One thing anybody who develops anything will tell you is they don't really know how something's going to perform until they give it to 100,000 people to break for them.
You can send it to all the beta testers you want and let them break it how they can break it, fix how they can break it. Give it to somebody that's not trained to break the game, they'll find a different way to break it.
That's absolutely correct. Thank you, Tim. Thank you very much. Oh, crap. You see what's in the weather forecast?
Rain.
Uh huh.
It's okay. It'll be okay.
It could be a few hours before it comes in yet. Hey, Louise. Thank you so much for joining Harv's World. Welcome to Harv's World. Appreciate you having you with us. Tommy Boy 109. I assuming that's what you're going for there. You are so welcome, my man. Very much. That Ravenport beginners tutorial has kind of become Harv's claim to fame these days. And I really love it when you guys stop in and tell me you got your start there. Anything that gets people as interested in this game as I am, I love to hear about. So thank you very much. That's a very good point. Very good point, Ed. In fact, I can honestly say I don't think I've played a game longer than 6 months before this game. No exaggeration. I think 6 months was about my breaking point to where I felt the need to move on to something else. But I keep coming back to Farm Sim, but just because it's so casual, you know, you don't have to get on. You don't have to get stressed. You just come on and run your cotton harvester up and down the field. Bore the crap out of people. Talk to them. A Joe. Nice. Well, that's a different mod, Bradley. The DLC John Deere Cotton. The John Deere Cotton DLC is round bales for sure, without a doubt, no question about it. You're talking about mods. DLCs and mods are kind of the same, but not quite.
The biggest difference being you have to pay for a DLC. You don't pay for mods.
That's true. Very, very true. I actually used that John Deere Brazil pack you're talking about, Bradley, on my Pineapple Bay series. And when I used it, it was a little bit broken. To my understanding, they have since come in and fixed those issues, so it should function exactly the way they intended now. Oh, Louise, that's fantastic. Had FS19 for 2 years, just started playing it, now up to 500 hours. Keep going, you're going to catch me. I think I'm around 3,200 at this point. It's kind of sad when you think about it. Fair enough, Eric. I can totally see that perspective. We're not even going to quite get it. We might get a single bale apiece. We're only get 40,000 liters of cotton off of this thing, really?
What it's looking like. It's looking like you're going to leave one row of cotton.
One tiny little strip to come back and get.
Yeah, maybe one or two.
I'm not sure I will
Yeah,
make it.
Two.
I'm not sure I will make it down this field. I'm at 96% right now.
I'm at 84.
That's right, Louise. That's right. Dedicated and passionate. No, I joke, I jest when I say it's sad. It's actually been very, very helpful to me in a lot of ways. And that's, no, now, if anything bad happens, it's Sharko's fault. Some of our new viewers today might not know what we're talking about, but It's always Sharko's fault. Unless it's something good that happens, then it's all Harv's fault.
Did one of you channel members please put the Sharko speed limit thing in chat, please?
It's too
Even
small.
though he's not here.
Nobody can read it.
You can read it.
Can you? I felt like it was way too small.
I have not downloaded it yet, Bradley. I'll be looking at it later. I kind of forgot about it after the last stream.
Yeah, me too. I haven't had a chance. A lot of contract. If you see a cotton contract on a lot of maps, they will automatically include 2. How much space do you have left, Caveman?
I'm at 88%. I can probably get the rest of this in mine.
Good.
If not, we'll have one little tiny cotton bale.
Well, that's what I was going to end up with, is one little tiny cotton bale. So
either way, if it doesn't all fit, we'll end up with one little tiny cotton bale, which isn't a big deal. But
oh, I can totally understand that, Ed. We try to change things up as much as we can. It's not always possible. There is always that one thing that you have to get done that day. We have done 2 hours of harvesting the same field before. We try not to get stuck on that kind of thing.
we've done 3 hours of planting a field before.
Have we? That was
Yes.
that was Caveman's Folly, right?
Yes. Okay, well, it's only 18,116 liters in that bale.
38,000 liters of cotton. That almost doesn't seem worth it. Checking our lavender one more time. It still does not appear to be ready. Right? Absolutely need smell-o-vision on this stuff. Nope, still not ready. Okay. What do you think about another truck, Caveman? Did you?
What, another semi-truck?
Yeah.
You think we need another one?
I'm almost thinking we could use another one.
Well, if you think we need another one, go ahead and grab another one.
Well, you're generally the mechanic, so I thought you would just buy us one. I want to go see how.
You
go ahead.
You want me to buy another one? That's what it is.
Yep.
Okay.
Because we need to get those bales out of the field so we can plow those fields.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm running down here to check on FF and see how he's doing on the silage. Since we've got extra money coming in today that we didn't plan on, I figured we might as well he's just about got this cleared out. Outstanding. Yeah, I really like that mod too, Ed. Pole barns, stick barns, whatever you want to call them. We call them pole barns usually. Sprue. They wouldn't take our cotton because it smells like tobacco. Or backy.
Uh, metallic maybe?
Metallic what?
I was trying to match it to the colors on the other one, but I don't remember what color you put.
I can't remember either. Crimson something or other.
Was it ruby by some chance?
That sounds right, actually.
And then the metallic black?
Sure.
That's what we're going with.
Hey, 75 grand, that's not bad. And you want to grab the tobacco bales and see if we can't get those sold off since our price is good right now, if the price is still holding at 810.
Tobacco. That's not tobacco. It's actually gone to 811.
Is it rising now?
It went up one, but I don't
Oh.
see it. I don't see the little rising trigger there, so
I'll double check just to be sure, because I know it doesn't on.
it doesn't always show. So
It still shows 810 for me, so we'll go with that. I guess we're not going to get our lavender harvested today because, well, we got rain coming in for starters.
assuming that's the right. Bale type.
Hey, no judgments here, Ed. Well, they're not really barns, Eric. They're more like just open sheds. I like them. Not everything has to have siding and all of that on it, right?
Right. You've got to be kidding me.
You can only haul 2 at a time.
No, 3. It's even more of a slap in the face.
Well, it's up to you, of course, but you're not going to hurt my feelings if we need another flatbed. Plink.
I ain't gonna grab another one right now. I don't feel like trying to navigate this any longer than this up that road.
At least it'll hold 3. Most of them can only haul 2.
Yeah, that's true. It's true.
Well, Eric, if you're talking about in-game, that's probably the Alien Gym MF Shed Pack. Those are pretty slick, actually. Yeah, it comes as a stack of wood. You walk up to it, there's a trigger. When you hit the trigger, it actually assembles itself. They're pretty cool to watch, actually, when they put themselves together.
Oh yeah, that is pretty wild to watch.
I totally understand, Ed. I have some of that myself. Not that severe, but I totally get where you're coming from, bud. I read the article, Bradley. I have not watched the video yet.
I didn't know there was a video about it yet.
Yeah, the MF Shed Pack, Eric, all of them come that way. As just stacks of lumber. And you just walk up to them. I want to say there is a blue marker, like a sail point marker on it. And you walk up to that and hit the trigger, and it's really, really cool to watch them put themselves together. Alien
It
Jim
is a
is a
blue marker.
very clever modder. Yeah, Jordan, that's what Kevin was referring to when he said make sure you put a bow on it. Everybody's annoyed with Mrs. Nelson and her desperation for cotton. We're getting an awful lot of great demands popping up today.
Yes, we are.
Too bad we
This
can't
was going to
take advantage of any of them.
land trade.
Jordan, I did use that in Shellington, and that was a silo. It was a silo.
Was that all we got for 3 bales?
Yep. How much did it sell for?
I just had something pop up for 0, but that's not right. The money went up. I didn't get the little cell pop up like normal.
But it definitely gave you a price, right?
Well, the money went up.
Sold bales 45,568.
I sold 3 bales. Does that sound right?
Were they all 20,000 liters? Probably
No
not.
idea.
It's going to be less than $1,000 per 1,000 liters, so yeah, that probably sounds about right. Unfortunately.
Okay.
Caveman broke the bank. Oh, now it's all Caveman's fault. See how they are? They're going to get one of us.
How did I break the bank?
FF broke the bank. He's been the one sending silage all day.
I'm not doing the money transfers. The guy is.
Does make a valid point. Since I'll have room for it, do you want me to go ahead and drop off these 2 cotton bales too?
Yeah, you might as well.
Okay, I'll get them on the front then. Because I gotta back into that other place anyway.
Oh, to sell the tobacco?
It's easiest. It's easier to back in.
Oh, okay. That's pretty easy. Yeah, just don't accidentally trigger the cotton bales. Or if you do. I don't know. I don't think we're going to be growing too much more tobacco after that, though. Maybe one more field just to test our theory about whether it's whether it's
Yeah, the price.
Yeah. or the production is better on.
Yeah, maybe one more field. Maybe two. Who knows?
Nobody knows.
Definitely not us.
Ain't that the truth?
I'm waiting for the lavender to decide it's ready.
It's going to decide it's ready just at the time it starts raining.
Probably.
So we won't be able to harvest it anyway.
Probably.
That'd be our luck.
It would be our luck.
I am popping a lot of crap out of the ground over here.
No. Once I take care of this, I'll grab a trailer and come pick the stuff up. Are you done selling the silage yet, FF?
Got just a little bit left. Somehow I got some chaff in this, so
Tago, Kyle, how you guys doing, man?
Hey, Tago. Hey, Kyle.
Going pretty well here. Wow, this is another one of those where you look at the clock and all of a sudden realize you're almost 2 hours in already.
It'll be fine.
Oh, I'm not worried about it. I was just saying I didn't realize we'd been going for 2 hours already. So I was talking a little bit about carrying capacity earlier, and I gave a very brief explanation of that in Off the Grid on Friday, because the cattle are eating down my little pasture area down to nothing. Ralnick, you cannot use a helper to make a field. Unfortunately, helpers will not make fields for you because they don't know where you want those fields to be.
Exactly. Although, if you are playing on PC and want to play around with it, you can actually get
Course play?
course play to make a field for you.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'll say this: I would rather watch grass grow than coffee. Yeah, coffee takes a long time to grow, Kevin. That's an absolute truth. Carla, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Appreciate you coming in. Tago, yes, I'm using the wheel right now, actually, and loving it. It's absolutely fantastic. My wife and I want to thank you for helping keeping us chipper. Oh, well, you're very welcome, Ed. I'm sorry that you're struggling with all that COVID crap. I know what a bloody nightmare that can be. I mean, I haven't had it personally, but I know several people in the healthcare professions, and it's been a mess for everybody. Even those of us who haven't got it have either had to be on the receiving end of somebody who has, or just have our lifestyles changed because of it. It's been some rough action all around, but not nearly as bad as for those people who test positive. So I hope she's doing okay, bud. I hope she's doing okay. I try to keep things on the light side, and I'm glad it's helping you out. Louise, what you would need to do... Hey, Ronnie, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for dropping in. Appreciate you stopping in. Louise, so what you would need to do with course play, you would need to do the outer edge of your field. And then you would have to have course play find the field edge of that outer ring that you had just done. And then you could plan a course for your course play worker um, within the boundary of the field you just created, and send that worker in with a plow that has create fields activated, and they'll run that course with the plow down and plow out the rest of your field. So even with course play, you at least have to map out the course on your own, but yes, a course play helper would, in fact, plow the rest of it for you. Good, Ronnie, good. Glad to hear it. Bradley, we care about everyone, buddy. And we just very much appreciate you being with us all the time. Thank you for your support, man.
Yes. Thanks for the support of the channel.
And Ed says thanks to basically FF Caveman and Sharko for helping keep them chipper as well.
You're welcome.
Yeah, see, Ronnie does course play to make fields all the time, so. Sprue is still on about the tree harvesting. Should we get a tree harvester and start working on our road?
Are you asking me or are you asking them?
Yes. I'm asking everybody.
Well, if you want to start working on trees, be my guest, by all means.
That sounds to me like that's not something you're terribly interested in.
I think FF needs to do some tree work.
FF has a field to plant.
What are you planting in that field?
Wheat. That's what we discussed.
Excellent. Thank you, Tim. Thank you. So you have helpers, Ronnie, just standard FS helpers plow fields for you?
I have no clue how anybody's getting that to work, but okay.
I wonder if you do the outer edge and they have a plow and you told them to plow inside of that, if they would do it.
I don't know. I've never tried that.
Interesting. Okay. Testing to be done. Because Ronnie says he's doing it on PS5, so if the console players can do it, you know the PC players can do it.
Right?
WX. Eric says it works if you do about 3 headlands to get a nice open gap there that a worker would recognize. It does make a certain amount of sense.
Does make a certain amount of sense.
I just didn't think they would plow if they didn't recognize. Darn it, Harv hit the wrong button. Yeah. Ring around the rosy. Pocket full of tobacco.
Well, the tobacco's all been sold and all the cotton has been put at the textile factory, so...
Oh, check the weather. WX weather. I get it. I'm slow sometimes, Ed. Especially on Sunday afternoons. We still don't have lavender, and the rain still isn't coming yet. It's working on it.
Okay, so now to gather up all this stuff.
Yeah, see, Kyle, that's exactly kind of what I was thinking would happen. It does happen from time to time, Eric. Course play is not perfect, and the workers do get confused once in a while and just go trucking off into wherever. Bradley play multiplayer with others, but my mom said you will need to stick with single player so I can play at your own pace. Yeah, that's understandable, Bradley. Multiplayer's not for everybody.
Nope, definitely not.
Oh, I've got, well, I've almost gone through it. My coffee mug is about 29 ounces. And I usually have at least 2 of those a day. Yes, I said 29 ounces. Alright, I will get this field. I'll. Actually, you know what I might do? No, I can't do that. I really like the look. I don't know which one you're getting, Tim, but I like the southern Brazil map. Looks really interesting. It's one that's been on my radar for quite some time. Another one that's been on my radar for a while, but I haven't dug into it yet, was La Coronella. Or no, not La Coronella. What's the one that has all of the production and stuff on it? Infinita Cantadilla or something. I can't remember the exact name of it.
I don't think I know the one you're talking about.
It's been on Mod Hub for a long, long time. It was one of the first major production maps to hit Mod Hub. It's Infinita something, I'm pretty sure. And I want to say it gives you multiple starting options also. Like,
Oh no, that's cool.
more than just new farmer. It's kind of like, do you want to be a farmer? Do you want to do this, that, or something different? So,
That's cool.
Cantrabia Infinite?
what's that, FF?
Antrabia Infinite, I think is what he said.
Yeah, oh, Cantabria Infinita, I think. That you might be right. I had the words backwards.
Yeah, that's all I seen. Anything close to what you said, so.
Well, what are you on this exact same map, Seraph? Are you on PV Uncharted or are you on a different PV map? Because he could be tweaking those settings. It could be the implement we're using. It could be when you plow the field for the first time, it does something completely different. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe over time you get less and less rocks.
There's a million possibilities.
Well, I'm sure that scrape on your chin and your lip, Bradley, will be just fine, buddy.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna be okay, bud. That's actually a really cool idea, Louise. That's a really, really good idea. If only it were possible, instead of cross-platform, actually a cross-game.
That would be kind of wild.
So you get you cross game with ATS to have your stuff hauled to market, and then you would cross game from ATS to something else to actually do your productions. Wow, that's a whole lot going on right there.
I do remember at one point in time there was a game. It was on PS2, and it could talk to a game on the PlayStation Portable to unlock some sort of bonus content.
Assassin's Creed does that actually. Usually when the new Assassin's Creed game comes out, well, I know Black Flag especially had an app on your phone that you could connect to your game, because there was kind of a mini game in Black Flag where you had ships to send on different missions and stuff, and you could manage that from the app on your phone.
Well, there's quite a few games that let you manage it from an app on your phone.
I haven't played any of the other PV maps yet, or Joe, so I have to assume that, yeah, that must be something new to this particular map. There you go, Louise. Flight simulator for international shipments. We're shipping our cattle to South Brazil. Oh wait, we'd actually do that on a ship, though. I think.
You missed the spot.
Yes, mother, I know. I will come back and get that later. With your luck, a rock will come out of that spot too.
Yeah, that's why. That's why I was telling you now. Yeah, with my luck, you'll pop 4 or 5 rocks out of that little tiny spot.
That, you know, a smarter economy for FS would be a very, very welcome thing for sure. Smarter economy for sure. At one point, I mentioned to somebody, I said it would be nice if you had like a reputation, especially when you're on a map where you're doing a lot of contracts. So the more contracts you do, the better things get for you. You know, you start building up reputation with local farmers, and so you get better pay and benefits like that. Come to find out, to my understanding anyway, FS17 did have a reputation system similar to that, and they took it out of 19. But it makes a lot of sense, because in the real world, farmers very much count on their reputation. As far as I know, Tim, I have not been given an opportunity to look at or play FS22. In fact, any FS22 that you have seen, and I see dual cavemans in front of me. There's 2 of you. Now you're back together. Your clones joined.
It's a cool little magic trick, ain't it?
It is.
It's better than 2 Sharkos.
You got that right. Because at least with me, only one of them dances. With Sharko, both of them do.
That's true.
I was going more along the lines of less wrecking.
Richard, you're absolutely right there. Smarter helpers. If we could get smarter helpers, that would be a blessing.
Oh, that would be a beautiful thing.
You would. I never thought about that before. So, do farmers actually buy worms to put in their fields? It would make sense. Keeps the soil loose and healthy. I'm curious about that now. Ed kind of implies that they do. All of the soils mean different soil qualities, Bradley. Oh, I think I just saw the first sprinkle. Maybe not. Maybe I was just imagining things, but I thought I saw a drop of rain.
Can you actually see when it starts raining on here? Like just the tiny little single drop?
Sometimes.
Because I don't think I've ever seen that. It's always been nice and clear, then pouring rain.
Oh, I've definitely seen the initial sprinkle before the full-blown rain comes in.
But again, it's also been raining on your screen before and didn't rain on mine till like an hour later.
Well, that's fair.
Sorry. Not very good brakes on this thing.
Those don't have the best brakes. That's the one downside to them.
I think this was the one I left off on right here.
Well, it could be that, once you get a good colony of worms in your soil, you don't ever have to worry about it again. So maybe Millennial Farmer doesn't talk about it because his worms are already doing well. The world may never know.
This isn't a Tootsie Pop commercial.
Well done. Get all worms from muck and slurry. Hey Ben, Mr. Fothergill, how you doing, bud? It's interesting where these streams go sometimes.
Oh, very interesting sometimes.
We're having a lengthy discussion on worms. That makes sense, Ed. They dig in the soil, eat up the bad stuff, poop out the good stuff, and keep the soil loose.
You haven't had any plinks over here, have you, FF?
Do what?
You haven't heard any plink noises while you're plowing, have you? Or not plowing, while you're planting, have you?
No, I have not.
Okay, good.
Hey, I play. Put 2 rods in the ground, hook a battery to them with jumper cables, and the worms come right up. That's interesting. I remember when we wanted to get worms for fishing, my dad would go out in the backyard and he'd hose it down, get it good and damp, because apparently he thought that's what brought the worms up. And then we'd walk around in the dark with a flashlight looking for them to come out. Sprue, we're almost done with this field. We'll think about tree harvester. Yeah, we can do that for a little bit. Why not? We haven't done any major tree harvesting for a while. Tap a
So
garden.
who's excited for the work week to start again?
You?
Probably that's about it.
As far as I'm concerned, just you.
Did that little patch yield anything to pop out?
No, I didn't hear anything come out.
Awesome.
Alright, I'm going to park this tractor right about here. That'll work. Okay, just for sprue. Personally, I like the Komatsu. That's what I'm going with. At least that bad boy. And we need... because frankly, we do far too much of this at one time to do anything but... let me make sure I've got the right trailer. Is that the right one? Yeah, I'm sure that's the right one.
It's the middle-sized one. Yep, that looks like it.
That's the biggest one.
That's the biggest one?
Yeah, it has to be the biggest one, otherwise, if you run an 8-meter logs, it doesn't quite work.
I thought it was the middle-sized one that worked. My bad.
No, it's the middle size is 15 meters, so two
Oh,
8-meter
right.
logs would be too long. Well, some people would argue that this is farming simulator and not forestry simulator, not logging simulator. But it all goes hand in hand, right? Oh, come on!
Yeah.
I just want you to stretch out a little bit. There we go. That's better. So we decided we were going to run across 18 pretty much along this line right here, right? Just about like right here.
I think it's in here. Yeah, wherever the edge of the property basically runs straight across the edge of the property.
Okay. I have done so much, so much bloody tree harvesting. By the time we're done with this map, I may never harvest another tree again, I'll tell you. We need to increase this to an 8-meter cut. Slam right into that tree. Now this right here is where the wheel comes in very, very handy. Oh, it is, Louise. It absolutely is. I have done a lot of forestry for a farming game, absolutely. Henry, no worries, man. Anytime you drop in, we're always happy to see anybody when they show up. Don't even sweat the small stuff, man. Don't sweat the small stuff. So this is kind of what I was talking about. Caveman showed me that I should be doing to harvest my trees. Instead of swinging the boom around to get the tree into position, you just position the harvester. And I like it. It works much better than my old way of doing it, in my opinion. I don't think we've got any of those crappy trees yet, Caveman, that we hate so
we
much.
had one.
Oh, really? Already? This
Yes,
one I'm
we
about
did
to
have
cut
one
right
already.
now is one of the crappy ones.
Okay.
Hey, Ben. Good to see you make it, man. Anybody who doesn't know at this point, Mr. Corbin is my nephew. He's the much younger version of myself. Well, we don't have my favorite tree harvester installed. I'm sure some of you know which one that is. I know Caveman knows.
Yes, I know.
For
But
some
no, we
reason,
do not have that one installed.
for some reason, he used to like that one too, and he kind of got sick of it, I think. What happened to your love of the Russian tree harvester, Caveman?
I still like the Russian tree harvester.
I do too. Well, a lot of people see it so often on Off the Grid that using it on a stream probably doesn't make the most sense. This caveman gets skewered by a log. And yes, we are auto-loading logs, guys. We're doing this on too big of a scale at this point to even think about manually loading them anymore. Too much going on. Oh, it is not. I've cut a million of these trees. Don't tell me it's too thick. We're getting late in the day here. I'm going to slow time down just a little bit at this point so we don't run into dark. Because we're getting close to it. We're at 7 p.m. Yes, Caveman is a man outstanding in his field. We have actually argued that it would be nice to see, well, and they've kind of hinted at deer in FS22. It would be nice to see some more wildlife included in the game. Although I did have to hunt down a cougar that was eating my chickens at one point.
Did we cut trailer cut off? The trailer cut off.
It does that. Oh, I see what you're expecting. I don't know why I didn't think of it before. I should be cutting these right into the load trigger.
Mm-hmm.
That was a bad one.
That, yep.
It is
So
pretty
that one.
impressive, Ben, to actually see these working in the real world. I wouldn't want to get my arm caught in one, that's for sure. Ride him, cowboy. That was weird.
Mm.
I hit the cut button and I would have sworn I heard it cut. Maybe I just backed off of it just a little too soon.
Ah, didn't cut it.
And now I'm driving right past the tree.
Yep, and I've got these two stumps here that I can't get out with the chainsaw.
All right, I'm gonna do the caveman style here and try it in cab. That's better. This might actually be easier now. I know you said at one point that it was easier to do it in cab, and
I always thought it was.
that's definitely a different perspective.
What's wrong with these? Why does it not like these?
These are the ones that I hate, these little itty bitty ones. They just get in the way. They have no benefit whatsoever. And they just delete. I mean, that's the good thing. They just kind of delete, but still. If I'm going to be farting around with this thing, I want to be doing some real work. Very touchy, too.
Sorry, this thing's being a pain, so give me a minute.
It's alright. This thing's being a pain also. See, this is why I don't do first person.
It keeps doing it's something is broken with this right here, for real.
What's it doing?
It won't load anything. See, you saw that, right? It switched itself to the back,
It used to do that on the Yukon also, remember?
then it cuts off.
Yep, we had that exact same problem on Yukon. And this, my friends, is why we don't stream forestry. At least in part. Whee!
So it's
All
a
right.
nightmare.
It is kind of a pain in the neck. Hey, Bloodshot, how you doing, man? Glad to have you with us. We are
Hello.
trying to cut trees to satisfy someone's deep desire to watch people make fools of themselves. Or, I mean, do forestry.
I think that's the same thing.
Yeah, for us it is. Yeah, we had this exact same problem with these trailers on Yukon. Like, to the letter. They were doing the exact same thing. So they must not like to work and play well with multiplayer.
This one don't even want to go on the trailer.
I wish multiplayer would keep stats like you get in single player so that we knew just how many trees we've cut, because I'll bet I've cut somewhere around 500 so far on this map,
If not more.
if not more. Although, to be fair, that's where a lot of our money is coming from, the forestry.
It's like it's trying to work right. It just doesn't know how to.
Well, I can tell you the one difference since we've done this the last time.
What's
FF is here. It's all his fault. Oh, come on. I thought that would wake him up and get him to say something. Is he still with us?
What FF do?
You
broke
our
the
log
log
trailer.
Sharko was teaching me how to fix it.
Is that what it was?
Oh, that's the problem. Sharko tried to teach him something.
Well, it does iPlay. It uses the auto load flatbed, but the flatbed won't run logs. It could be conflicting auto loads, but I kind of have a sneaking suspicion. Well, it might be. It could be.
I don't think it's conflicting auto loads.
You don't?
No, I don't. Because normally if it's conflicting auto loads, you get a message about it.
I think there are some really funky trees that he used on this map, if I'm completely honest, like the one that I'm pulling right now. They don't trim right, for starters. And I'll see if I can't show you what I'm talking about here. Let me get in closer. Now, at least one of these branches is not going to get fully trimmed. And of course, this one's going to make me a liar. Yep. It did. A lot of times those trees, like the one I just pulled, they have funky bases on them. So getting the stumps to come out can be a real bear sometimes. And they don't trim well. They'll leave it'll you know the harvester will leave the top on. Just there's something about them that doesn't work and play well with in-game tree harvesters. So that's a better view. Hey, Too Cool. How you doing, man?
Hey, how's it going?
Caught us as we're getting down to the end.
See, that one left a bit on there.
Mm-hmm. And this isn't even one of the funky trees. This is a standard spruce. That one left a bit on it also. So I think there's some oddness with the trees, and I know for a fact that there's a lot of overlap between Yukon and this map, or Yukon and the PV maps in general. So I think it's either something to do with the trees that were used, or oh, well, thanks, Bloodshot. I'm glad you like the world tour. That's one of my favorite things to do. Canada almost made it in the last round, but we had a lot more votes for Scandinavia. Excuse me. Caveman is a stickler for exact loading too. That's right, I play. These trees are just naughty. Bum bum bum. That was an FF joke right there. If he'd been on his game, he would have gotten to that before you. FF loves a good dad joke.
Guilty as charged.
Yeah, Farmer Joe, I agree. In fact, I remember trying to play the forestry tutorials, and I ended up giving up on it because they have you using that stupid claw loader thingy, and it was impossible. I was like, this doesn't work. I'm not doing it. Not gonna do it. Hey, there's nobody that says you have to cut a tree. God bless it, Harv. So as you can see, I'm still getting used to the new side panel because I don't always know where I'm set. Down, down, down. There we go. I'd have sworn I had a cut marker. Thank you. And you never will, Joe. You never will get that claw loader to work because FS19 physics do not allow for such things to function the way that they were intended. Don't even try. In fact, I would argue most loaders are kind of more frustrating than they are valuable, unless you're Sharko, who has seemed to have mastered them.
The shark is just weird like that.
See, this tree left some on too. On also left a branch on. Oh, Bloodshot did forestry for real. Working in the sawmill. Maybe I need to hire you to come into the Wilhelmina Forest. If we ever get done building the sawmill there. Yeah, that's kind of where we're at too. Farmer Joe. Just because the physics are so... It's the same with bales, and it's unfortunate too, because you know, that could be an interesting and fun part of the game if it wasn't such a pain in the neck to do.
Yep. Sure could. Okay. Now, for the $20 million question. Is this going to the sawmill? Or is this going to
sell
the sell?
Sell it. Well, you're not the only one, Bloodshot. I'm waiting on that sawmill too. Harv? It's a little sensitive. Well, that's a good that's actually one of the best pieces of equipment to come out of mods. It's such a small thing, but it is so incredibly versatile, Kyle. The big bag handler. Well, we've been using it here. We've been using it on this map. The big bag handler, the CSZ pack or CSZ pack, if you are from across the pond, as they say. Big bag handler. Just make sure you buy the right one for the right piece of equipment. because there's a different one for telehandlers than there is for front loaders, etc., etc. So, but yeah, there's so many uses for that, and moving logs is one of them. Sprue. Sell, sell. Well, I'm not talking about the X bar bag lifter, Eric. I'm just talking about the big bag handler from the CSZ pack. Totally different thing. Unless
Totally different.
unless you knew that and we're just trying to fill us in on some additional information. Sometimes getting the cut mark to line up is a bit of a challenge also. Like right now, for example, I know I've got the cut mark, but I don't feel like I'm lined up very well. There we go. That'll do. I'm actually cutting these stumps a little bit shorter than I probably should also. But we do have a stump grinder. Good Lord, Harv. Well, I'm not sure that I actually in the in the walkthrough. Man, I'm just all over the place all of a sudden. Getting tired, I think. I kind of like the fact that it picks up 3 pallets at once sometimes.
Sometimes it's a beautiful thing. Sometimes it's a pain.
That's true. Alright, let us know when you're getting ready to sell that wood, caveman.
I'm getting ready to sell it now.
Alright.
Selling.
70,000 plus. It never all sells at once. Is that all of it?
That's all of it.
So, $73,000 from that one load of wood. Maybe we should just plant grass in our fields and just become lumberjacks here. No, we're not doing that. That was a joke. Just FYI. Before anybody starts taking that as as gospel. We are not doing that.
Oh no.
I don't have it in me to be a
Definitely
full-time
not.
lumberjack. And with that said, we got a lot accomplished today. We got our rock crusher. We got our new cattle feedlot. Shell oil has come to town. We've got our tobacco and our cotton harvested. We got all of our silage of 1.4 million liters of silage sold off. And we've had a good time hanging out with you guys. But I think we're going to call it for the day, guys. It's been a very, very good stream. We very much appreciate you hanging out with us. Kept things interesting, I think, which really, really helps. Anyway, I think that's going to do it, guys. I really, really do. FF, Caveman, final thoughts?
Not really.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you Wednesday.
All right, guys. As always, we very much appreciate you coming along for the ride. And until next time, take care.